We're about to uncover how the world's wealthiest families quietly build influence. Not through loud displays or social media fame, but through generations of trust, tradition, and invisible connections. Stay with us, because by the end of this video, you'll understand how old money creates powerful networks that open doors, shape industries, and secure legacies, all without ever drawing attention. If you love exploring the hidden world of the elite, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We're taking you inside the quiet power plays that define true wealth. In the world of old money, networking doesn't look like networking. There are no name tags, no frantic business card swaps, no forced small talk over cocktails. Instead, it's about belonging, and that belonging is built slowly through behavior, reputation, and trust. Where most people think of networking as something you do, old money treats it as something you are. The goal isn't to make contact, but to cultivate relationships, ones that may not yield immediate advantage but will quietly define a lifetime. So, how do they do it? 1. Etiquette as currency. For the old money elite, etiquette isn't formality for formality's sake. It's a language, a system of unspoken signals that communicates education, breeding, and respect. A firm handshake, a handwritten note after a dinner invitation, the right tone when addressing a titled guest. These details form the quiet grammar of their social world. They tell others, I understand the rules. You can trust me here. When someone displays good manners, they signal self-control. A trait deeply valued among legacy families who've seen how arrogance can destroy reputations. For example, at old money gatherings, boasting about wealth or career success is considered gauche. Instead, conversations revolve around shared experiences: travel, philanthropy, heritage, art, or education. Achievements are hinted at, never listed. In those circles, subtlety is sophistication. Etiquette acts as a silent filter. It identifies who truly understands the culture and who's simply trying to imitate it. 2. Trust before transactions. Modern networking often revolves around quick gains. What can you do for me? Old money rejects that entirely. In their world, trust precedes opportunity. They build relationships first, sometimes over years, before business is ever mentioned. Lunches, charity events, school board meetings, or family gatherings all serve as proving grounds. When two old money families decide to collaborate, the partnership is rarely written on a whim. It's cemented by a mutual history. Perhaps their fathers sat on the same foundation board, or their children attended the same preparatory school. That's why discretion is sacred. Loose talk, gossip, or self-promotion can instantly exile someone from the inner circle. In fact, in these environments, the less you say about yourself, the more curious others become. Power is communicated by how little you seem to need attention. 3. The role of shared institutions. The old money network thrives because it's anchored in stable intergenerational institutions. Think of them as the physical architecture of influence. The boarding schools, Eton, Phillips Exeter, Choate, La Rosey, are not just educational settings, but lifelong memberships in a private alumni society. Graduates form discreet webs that stretch across finance, law, diplomacy, and the arts. The Ivy League universities, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, continue the pattern, where membership in exclusive societies like Skull and Bones or Purcellian opens doors money alone can't buy. The clubs and foundations, known from the Knickerbocker Club in New York to the Bohemian Club in California, function as modern safe zones for social and business exchanges. Deals are discussed over dinner but sealed with decades of shared credibility. In this way, every institution becomes an inheritance, not of money, but of access. 4. Philanthropy as networking. To the outsider, philanthropy looks like charity, but in the world of old money, it's also strategy. Foundations, museums, hospitals, and universities often act as neutral meeting grounds for the upper class. Board memberships or gala events place you shoulder to shoulder with CEOs, ambassadors, and family heirs in a context that seems purely altruistic. By working together for a cause, trust grows naturally. There's no sales pitch, only shared purpose. Over time, those who demonstrate reliability, grace, and discretion in these settings become trusted allies. Philanthropy, therefore, becomes the ultimate social equalizer, a place where character speaks louder than wealth. 5. The unwritten rules of conversation. Networking, for the old money crowd, is conversational art. They don't talk to impress, they talk to connect. You'll rarely hear bold opinions or controversial takes at these gatherings. Instead, dialogue flows around mutual interests and understated humor. They ask questions more than they give answers. Listening, not talking, earns the most respect. Even their tone reflects composure. The volume is low, the pace measured. Interruptions are rare. It's not just about what they say, but how they say it. A polite, well-timed comment can do more for your reputation than hours of self-promotion ever could. 6. Exclusivity without exclusion. Here's something surprising. Despite their reputation for insularity, old money circles occasionally welcome new faces, but only those who mirror their values. It's not about your net worth. It's about whether you understand the rhythm of restraint. A newly rich entrepreneur who walks in humble, respectful, and curious may find more open doors than a boastful social climber. That's why new money often hires social consultants or etiquette coaches. Not to fake class, but to understand the codes of old wealth. The moment you stop trying to impress and start trying to fit in gracefully, the tone shifts. 7. The power of hosting. One of the oldest and most underestimated networking tools of the elite is hosting. Old money families understand that control of the setting means control of the tone. By hosting dinners, garden parties, charity luncheons, or weekend gatherings at their estates or clubs, they create an environment where introductions happen naturally and hierarchies soften. But there's an art to it. These events are never about grandeur or spectacle. They're about comfort and continuity. The best hosts aren't trying to impress. They're creating ease. Guests are thoughtfully seated to encourage meaningful conversation. The guest list is curated so everyone feels both welcome and subtly flattered to be included. A classic old money dinner might pair a seasoned financier next to a young academic, or an art collector beside a philanthropist. It's not random, it's deliberate. Each pairing has the potential to spark a new alliance, collaboration, or mentorship. Even in their hospitality, discretion is key. No photos, no hashtags, no announcements, only word-of-mouth gratitude afterward. For those who were invited, attendance itself becomes a quiet credential. By bringing people together under their roof, old money hosts do more than entertain. They weave threads between families, ideas, and generations, and in doing so, they strengthen the invisible web that sustains their influence. 8. The long game. Ultimately, what defines old money networking is patience. They play the long game. Where modern networking is transactional and immediate, theirs is generational and slow-burning. A friendship formed at university might lead to a business partnership 20 years later. A favor extended to a family acquaintance might be repaid through an unexpected opportunity decades down the line. This patience is their power. It creates webs so deep and enduring that they become self-sustaining. Old money understands that influence, like wealth, compounds over time. Today, when everyone seems to be networking online, posting achievements, or chasing LinkedIn endorsements, old money stands apart. Their world operates on an entirely different frequency. One that doesn't need algorithms, followers, or flashy introductions. Because for them, reputation still travels faster than any post ever could. Their digital footprint is intentionally minimal. Many use private social media accounts, if any at all. They don't announce business ventures or vacations online, because in their world, privacy is prestige. What's rare is valuable, and being hard to reach is a status symbol in itself. But that doesn't mean their networks are shrinking. Quite the opposite. They've evolved. The private circles of today. In cities like New York, London, and Palm Beach, a new generation of old money heirs and heiresses maintains tradition in contemporary forms. Exclusive clubs like Zero Bond, 5 Hartford Street, or Annabelle's attract legacy families, diplomats, and entrepreneurs who understand the unspoken rule. You're there to belong, not to brag. These aren't places to meet people. They're places to maintain continuity. Inside, you might find a 4th-generation banker sharing a quiet lunch with a tech founder who just married into a blue-blood family. Conversations stay low-key, business talk indirect, but make no mistake, power is being exchanged in every nod and every subtle favor. Even travel has become part of the network. Certain ski resorts in Gstaad, private villas in the Caribbean, or hidden Mediterranean enclaves aren't just vacation spots. They're annual gatherings of familiar faces. There's comfort in repetition. The same families meet year after year, deepening trust without fanfare. Mentorship behind closed doors. Another defining trait of old money networking is the mentorship lineage. Guidance passed quietly from generation to generation. While the public sees polished heirs stepping into leadership roles, behind the scenes, they've often been groomed for years. Fathers introduce sons to their trusted advisors. Mothers bring daughters to foundation galas to observe how influence is exercised gracefully. The goal isn't to get ahead. It's to learn how to move within circles where every gesture matters. Mentorship also extends beyond family. When an older member of an established network sees genuine potential and humility in someone younger, they often take them under their wing, opening doors that no resume could. It's never about talent alone, it's about character. That's why in these worlds, being dependable and discreet is the ultimate resume. Why you'll never hear about it. One reason these connections seem mysterious is because old money has mastered the art of staying out of sight. They understand that influence fades when it's overexposed. So, while new money hosts networking conferences and panels, old money hosts private dinners. 8 people, 1 long table, no cameras. They don't need to announce connections. When someone of their world needs an introduction, it happens silently through a phone call, a letter, or a quiet word at a charity event. If you're inside the circle, you never advertise it. And if you're outside it, you may never even realize how often those circles have shaped what happens around you. What you can learn from it. The takeaway here isn't to imitate wealth, and it's to understand its strategy. True networking isn't about collecting people, it's about cultivating relationships that last. It's about being someone others can trust, respect, and remember fondly. You don't need a last name in a history book to apply these lessons. Start small. Build your reputation through actions, not words. Be generous with introductions, but sparing with attention. Join communities that reflect your values, not just your ambitions. And above all, play the long game. The best connections in life are never transactional. They're transformational. Because, as old money knows all too well, the most powerful relationships are the ones no one else ever sees. And that's why, in the rarefied world of legacy wealth, the real network isn't online. It's inherited, protected, and quietly expanding while the rest of the world keeps talking.